I had an email passing through my inbox a couple of days ago saying Take2 was actually changing its name to Takealot. What's with the change, and are we going to be chatting to you as Takealot in future?
So we are changing to Takealot. In fact, we've just launched the new site. We launched it on Saturday. And we go live with the actual shopping basket today, in fact, probably sometime this afternoon. The whole issue of the name has really been a result of a trademark problem. Take2 has been going for 10 years. The trademark itself was actually registered in 1998 by someone else. We've been trying to negotiate to get the rights to actually use the trademark. Hasn't been possible, so we've gone to Takealot.
How does this affect your customer? Does it affect your customer at all?
So my view is it doesn't affect the customer at all. We're the same company. We're trying to grow. We've got the same ethos of service, products, and the breadth of product as such. So I don't believe it affects the company at all, and I don't believe it actually affects the customer at all. They should actually start seeing better service as we grow.
Well, Kim, you bought over the company along with Tiger Global Management last year, so they're giving you some financial backing. Quite aggressive growth plans. You're looking for £1 billion turnover within 5 years. Can you give us your current turnover and how you hope to get to that £1 billion within 5 years?
So we're really, our turnover right now, as of February this year, has been 75 million. It's an aggressive growth target, I agree with that. I believe in goals, and we've set ourselves this aggressive target. We think that the South African e-commerce market is only just starting. You know, the actual percentage of online retail as a percentage of total retail right now is less than, I think it's 0.3% right now. Total South African retail right now is probably somewhere around about 561 billion. Online retail, given the research that you look at, I think is anything between $1 billion to $2 billion right now. So if you look at the States is sitting at 8% of applicable retail that's online. We just think there's a heck of a lot of headroom still to grow. Why
have we been so slow in taking off here in South Africa?
So I've been involved in the internet since probably 2000.
Yeah, because you worked with Naspers and with MIH previously.
Correct. South Africa has been a difficult market, and it really has been because of broadband penetration being one major factor, and also South Africans have been slow to adopt the traditional types of services on the internet. There's a particular piece of research by Arthur Goldstock, which is out at the moment on online retail, where they actually graph the growth of services like online retail in the South African market, and they use a 5-year experience curve, which he calls the digital participation curve. And what that basically says is over the 5 years, as time goes on and as people use the internet more, they start getting used to these types of services. And I think that has been particularly applicable to South Africans. So what we're seeing now is we're seeing a growth in internet, which is starting to spike. And we're starting to see a usage of internet which is growing over the 5-year curve. So people are starting to use more and more services online. And I think that really has been a combination of, the actual slow uptake of internet services in South Africa has really been a result of the lack of broadband and also uncapped broadband as well.
So would you expect a quick acceleration as we get that broadband into gear?
So we see almost like a double factor coming in here. So as online retail, as internet penetration grows, we expect online retail to grow because it's a new market almost. So it's a nascent market, I think, right now, and something that hasn't even been tapped into. So we see the internet penetration growing and the people coming online growing. So you almost get a double growth factor.
Do you think South Africans are perhaps a little bit suspicious about online retailing? Is security an issue for them?
Look, we don't believe on our side particularly that security is an issue. I think you always have to guard what you do online. You may have to actually make sure that you are transacting with someone who's secure and who's trusted. It is a factor for South Africans just in their mindset, but I don't believe it should be a factor given that you actually trade with the right people online.
So tell us a bit more about Takealot, or Take2 as we previously knew it. What do you actually sell? Who are your customers? How many customers do you have?
So currently we have around about in excess of 45,000 customers.
Active customers.
Active customers that purchased once in the last year. We sell mostly books, electronics, games, DVDs. I've left something out. Can't think of it right now. And we also provide an import service that people can actually import what we call the long tail from the UK and the US. So we're also importing stuff. What TakeLot's going to do is we're going to expand that category base. We think it's important to expand the category base, and we think that growth is not going to necessarily come in the traditional or what people have been buying right now on online, but we think that new categories will actually bring growth. So what we do is we look to other markets. We use our information from Tiger Global as well. And we look at what categories are successful elsewhere in the world, and we use those and we're starting to implement them. So we'll see probably 2 new categories coming on board in the next year, with definitely another one coming on board next year, and we hope to bring at least another one again on board next year as well.
Do you think we face any unique obstacles here in South Africa for retailers like yourself, such as importing stuff and paying high duties as you import goods into South Africa?
Yeah. So I think our strategy is local supply. And local supply because the continuity of the supply is just that much better. Therefore, we can provide a better service and a better certainty of delivery of products. And yes, the import of stuff is difficult, and it does cost you. So the importing, if you're importing directly, we find it provides a great ability for consumers to get that long tail of goods, as we call it. But our core, we believe, has to be really supplied by local suppliers.